Cornucopia as noun. A symbol of abundance and nourishment, typically represented as a horn-shaped container overflowing with fruits, flowers, and grain. An abundant and varied supply of something. The Thanksgiving centerpiece was a beautiful cornucopia overflowing with autumnal fruits and vegetables. The farmer's market had a cornucopia of fresh, locally grown produce for sale. The antique store had a cornucopia of unique and interesting items, including vintage books and art prints. The garden was a cornucopia of colorful flowers, including tulips, daisies, and sunflowers. The festival offered a cornucopia of activities for families, including music performances, food trucks, and craft vendors. Hauteur, an air of arrogance, superiority, or disdain, aloofness or condescension, an attitude of superiority or disdain towards others, haughty behavior or manner. He approached the job interview with hauteur and confidence. The coach had an air of hauteur that intimidated the players. Her hauteur and snobbish attitude made her unpopular with her co-workers. The wealthy businessman exuded hauteur and arrogance. The actress looked down at the reporters with hauteur.
Antedate as noun, a deviation from the common rule or standard, to proceed in time, to date back to an earlier period. The antedate of the manuscript was crucial in determining its historical significance. The antedate on the check indicated an earlier issuance date. The discovery of the fossil provided an antedate to previously known timelines of species evolution. The antedate of the artifact was established through carbon dating. A reliable antedate was necessary to authenticate the age of the ancient sculpture. Percipient as noun, a person who is capable of perceiving or becoming aware of something through the senses or intuition, an observer, noticer, or comprehending individual. The percipient was able to provide valuable insights into the issue at hand. The study was designed to determine whether animals could be percipients of paranormal phenomena. The psychic claimed to have a group of percipients who could receive messages from the dead. The researcher was looking for percipients who could perceive subtle changes in their surroundings. The artist was able to create works that were appreciated by both percipients and non-percipients alike. Calumny as noun, a false and defamatory statement made about someone, the act of making false and defamatory statements in order to damage someone's reputation. The politician's opponents spread calumnies about them to damage their reputation. The employee was fired for spreading calumnies about their co-workers to management. The lawyer's accusations against the witness were calumnies with no basis in fact. The rumor that the actor was involved in a scandal was a calumny, with no evidence to support it. The lawsuit was filed in response to a calumny made by the defendant that caused harm to the plaintiff's reputation.
Tumult as noun. A loud, confused noise, especially one caused by a large mass of people. A state of commotion, confusion, or disturbance. The tumult of the crowd made it hard to hear. The tumult of the storm kept them awake all night. The tumult of the party went on until the early hours of the morning. The tumult of the battle was deafening. The tumult of the market made it hard to navigate. Constraint as noun. A condition or circumstance that limits freedom of choice or action. Something that restricts or limits. The budget constraints prevented the company from investing in new technology. The artist viewed the limited color palette as a creative constraint that sparked new ideas. The time constraints required the project to be completed within a tight deadline. The legal constraints prevented the company from launching a product that did not meet safety standards. The athlete's injury put significant constraints on his ability to perform at his best. Ascendancy as noun. The state or condition of being in a position of power or dominance. The state or condition of having control or influence over others. During the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union both sought to gain ascendancy in the world. The recent election resulted in the opposition party gaining ascendancy in parliament. The company's market share has been in ascendancy for the past year due to its innovative products. The king's ascendancy to the throne was accompanied by much celebration and fanfare. The coach's strategies and leadership led to the team's ascendancy in the league standings.
Presentiment as noun. A feeling or impression that something, especially something bad, is going to happen. An intuitive feeling or instinct about future events or circumstances. The traveler had a presentiment that something was wrong with his flight, which turned out to be delayed. The mother had a presentiment that her child was in danger and rushed to the playground to find them hurt. The actor had a presentiment that he would get the part in the movie, which turned out to be true. The athlete had a presentiment that she would break the world record, which she did the following day. The investor had a presentiment that the stock market would crash, which he acted on and saved his fortune.
Tarnish is noun. A loss of quality, value, or reputation due to damage or decay. A thin layer of corrosion or discoloration on metal, often caused by oxidation or exposure to air and moisture. The scandal caused a tarnish on the company's reputation. The mistake left a tarnish on his academic record. The politician's corrupt actions left a tarnish on the government's credibility. The accident caused a tarnish on the driver's driving record. The tarnish on the metal was difficult to remove. Denouement, the outcome or resolution of a complicated situation or narrative. The unraveling or clarification of the plot of a story or play. The denouement of the play revealed the truth about the main character's past. The detective story's denouement was a surprising twist that nobody had anticipated. The denouement of the film left many viewers feeling unsatisfied with the ending. The novel's denouement tied up all the loose ends and resolved the main conflict. The play's denouement brought closure to the story and left the audience with a sense of catharsis. Incumbent as noun. The person holding a particular office or position. The person who is responsible for performing a particular duty or task. The incumbent president is seeking re-election. The incumbent CEO will retire at the end of the year. The incumbent senator has served for over 2 decades. The incumbent mayor has implemented many successful policies. The incumbent governor faced a tough challenge from his opponent.
Aplomb as noun. A sense of calm and poise in difficult or challenging situations. Self-confidence or assurance, especially in difficult situations. The skilled negotiator handled the contentious situation with aplomb, calmly diffusing tensions and finding a solution that satisfied everyone involved. The talented pianist performed the difficult piece with remarkable aplomb, impressing the audience with her technical skill and emotional depth. Even in the face of intense pressure, the CEO maintained his aplomb and delivered a flawless speech to the shareholders. The experienced firefighter tackled the blazing building with the aplomb of someone who had seen it all before. The world-class athlete moved with a sense of aplomb that made it clear he was in complete control of his body and mind.
Spendthrift is noun. A person who spends money recklessly or extravagantly, without regard to the future. Someone who is careless or wasteful with money. especially in the face of financial hardship. The millionaire was known as a spendthrift, often squandering his wealth on unnecessary things. The spendthrift's family was left with debt and financial problems after his death. The spendthrift's behavior caused tensions with his frugal spouse. The financial advisor warned the client against being a spendthrift and advised them to save more. The charity organization condemned the spendthrift ways of some celebrities who flaunted their wealth while others were struggling. Eccentric is noun. A person who deviates from normal or conventional behavior or manners. A person who has quirky, unconventional, or peculiar habits, mannerisms, or appearance. The fashion designer was known as an eccentric, always dressed in flamboyant outfits. The town's eccentric was a mysterious old man who lived alone in a crumbling house. The eccentric was rumored to have hidden treasure buried somewhere on his property. The writer drew inspiration from the eccentrics she encountered in her travels. The group of eccentrics gathered every week to discuss their latest creative projects. Arch is noun. A curved structure, typically made of stone, brick, or steel, that spans an opening and supports the weight above it. The arch of the bridge spanned the river, providing a pathway for cars and pedestrians. The triumphal arch was built to commemorate a military victory and was decorated with reliefs and sculptures. The arch support in the shoes helped to alleviate the pain in his feet and improve his posture. The archer aimed for the bullseye, pulling back the string of the bow and releasing the arrow with precision. The archangel was a powerful angelic being who was considered to be a messenger of God. Anomaly as noun. A deviation from a rule, principle, or standard. Something that deviates from what is standard, normal, or expected. The unexpected result was an anomaly, and the experiment had to be repeated to verify its accuracy. The climate anomaly was attributed to global warming and was a cause for concern among scientists and policymakers. The financial anomaly was detected by auditors, and an investigation was launched to determine the cause and scope of the irregularity. The astronomical anomaly was caused by a celestial event that had never been observed before and required new theories to explain. The linguistic anomaly was a word that did not conform to the rules of grammar or syntax in the language. Pittance as noun. A sum of money that is considered inadequate or unreasonable, especially in comparison to the work performed or services rendered. A very small amount of money, especially one that is considered insufficient or inadequate. The company paid its interns a pittance for their hard work. The farmer received a pittance for his crops due to oversupply in the market. The charity was able to donate only a pittance to the cause due to limited funds. The hourly wage was a pittance compared to the cost of living in the city. She worked long hours for a pittance. Flag as noun. A banner or emblem carried or displayed in a parade, rally, or other event. A signal or symbol used to communicate information or indicate a particular condition. The ship signaled distress by flying a red flag from its mast. The flag of the United States is red, white, and blue, with 50 stars and 13 stripes. The referee threw a flag on the play, indicating a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. The hikers used a flag to mark their trail and make sure they didn't get lost. The marathon runners rounded the final turn and crossed the finish line under a waving flag. Predilection as noun. A natural inclination or fondness for something. A preference or liking for something, especially one that is long-standing or hard to change. She has a predilection for spicy food. His predilection for adventure led him to climb Mount Everest. I have a predilection for classical music. Her predilection for gardening started at a young age. His predilection for sweets led to tooth decay. Ready to boost your English? Meet our vocabulary app, the fun and effective way to master the language. Books learn advanced words with examples and audio. Direct hit master idioms, proverbs, and phrasal verbs. Video game enjoy quizzes, flashcards, and pronunciation tests. Glow showing Europe, Africa translate into 100+ languages, all in one app. Did you learn new words? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my channel. Download now and start your journey to vocabulary mastery.